Hey everybody, Morgan Knudsen here from Snake and Pyre Fire Performances. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about one of my favorite all-time props, which is the Leviwand. Let's just throw that lighter down there. So part of the cool thing with the Leviwand to me was based on a magic trick which existed years ago called the dancing cane. I'm nearly out of fuel here, but you guys get the point. And the dancing cane was made to look like it was simply moving on its own, right? So it's a really, really interesting trick because it's not necessarily about interacting with the fire itself. What it is about creating a character from the fire. So rather than things like fire eating, for instance, where you're actively interacting with the fire and doing trick after trick after trick, the Leviwand is about telling a story. Okay, it's about storytelling and theater. And because of that, this is really more like a puppet, less than it is a prop. And I think making that distinction right off the bat is something with Leviwand that is extremely important, because what I'm often seeing many people do and many performers do is they're so concentrated with just moving their hand around like this that they ultimately forget that you don't want it to look like this hand is what's moving the Leviwand. You really don't, because at that point you've lost the illusion completely. The whole point is to make it look like this has a life and a mind of its own and a character of its own, which is all about what you're going to be putting into it on an emotional level. But one of the tricks that I wanted to give you guys today is for you guys to first of all start remembering that you have another hand. Okay, so what I'm often seeing is performers that forget that they've got another hand, and they're so focused on the Leviwand they forget about this. So one of the tricks that I wanted to impart on you guys today to start to be able to create that puppetry movement is to think of your hand almost like you're a Jedi. Okay, you're one of the Jedi. You've got the Force behind you, and the Force can pull or push without touching anything. Right? We all know that, or at least all us nerds know that. So I want you guys to start thinking about this hand moving first, this hand moving second. Okay? So the Leviwand doesn't actually do anything until this hand tells it to do something. So, for example, if I want my Leviwand to go to my right, I end up pushing it with the force with my right hand, because you want people, your audience, to be looking at this hand wondering, how did it get over there? So when you're creating these types of illusions, this theory kind of works in multiple different ways. You can bring your Leviwand up, right? You can bring it up and across. You can bring it into up and a stall, all sorts of different things, all sorts of different movements. But when you consider that this hand should be moving before this one, you can start to build in this idea that you are magically controlling the Leviwand back and forth, back and forth. But you want to make sure that this hand is moving before this one, or else you basically just look like you have a stick on a string, which is lovely. but not near as fun and not near as creative for your viewing audience as if you're actually pushing it with your hand. So start to think about the personality of your Leviwand. What do you want it to do? What do you want it to give across? What is the story that you want to tell? And with that in your mind, begin to guide it. Begin to guide it with a little bit of theatricality. And yeah, it really does make a huge, huge difference. Start thinking about this as a puppet rather than theater, or rather than just a magic trick or a prop. Okay, it's a puppet. This is all about theater. Fire performing is about theater. And when we lose that and we just start getting into, look at this trick, look at that trick, look at this trick, it really begins to fall short after a while, because most people can do those tricks that have been in the business long enough. What's going to make you stand out is how you bring a story and how you bring life and theater to a prop like the Leviwand. I hope this was of value to you guys. Please like and subscribe to our channel. It means so much to both of us, And we can't wait to see you again in the next video. Bye, everyone.